Hi, my name's Monique Rhodes. I'm a happiness strategist and I teach people all over the world how to work with themselves so that they can be happier, how to work with their mind. I teach the science of the mind. So comparison is a big thing because we're living in a time where comparison is so baked into daily life that most of us don't even realize we're doing it. It's a little bit like breathing in secondhand smoke. You didn't ask for it, you didn't invite it, but it fills your lungs anyway. If you scroll through your phone and there it is, right? You're going to see it. Someone with the perfect kitchen, the perfect job, the dream job, the glorious relationship, or the kids dressed in coordinated linen like I saw the other day, or someone sharing their retreat in Bali, or someone celebrating a new six-figure launch. And it can seem like the entire world is ahead of you. And then what happens is that internal dialogue begins quietly. It says things like, why am I not there yet? Why is their life moving so quickly while mine feels like it's stalling? Or am I falling behind? And what starts as curiosity turns into a silent self-attack. But here's the thing, you're not falling behind. You're falling into the illusion that we're all running the same race, and we're not. Each of us is walking a path so uniquely shaped by our upbringing, by our wounds, by our dreams, by our biology, by our gender, our skin color, our sexuality, our heartbreaks, our karma, our culture. There's no fair comparison. There's none. So your timing is yours. Your lessons are yours. Your rhythm is not meant to sync with anybody else's. And yet when we compare, what happens is that we shrink, we diminish, because we're disconnecting from the unfolding of our own life. So comparison really steals the tenderness of our own progress, and it replaces it with panic. So one of my students shared a moment that really hit me deeply. When I met her, she was at a time where she was feeling really good about where she was in her life. She just started therapy, she was writing again, she was eating better. And then she told me that she saw a post from someone that she went to school with. This person had just bought a house, just got engaged, and she said she looked so radiant. And she told me that within 10 minutes, all of that peace that she had built up over those weeks just evaporated. And that's how quickly it happens. That's how fragile our sense of worth can be when we anchor it in someone else's story. But my student was doing something beautiful. She was tending to herself. She was healing. She was reclaiming. She was starting over. So just because that work doesn't get likes or doesn't go viral doesn't mean it's not powerful. In fact, it's some of the bravest work there is. We know we don't need to post our pain. We don't have to post our slow steps towards happiness or wholeness for them to matter. You don't need a highlight reel for your life to be meaningful. You just need to be honest about where you are and kind with yourself about where you're going. Because the truth is, your path's never going to look like anyone else's, and it's not supposed to. You know, some people bloom early. Some people bloom late. Some people bloom and then they go into darkness, and they bloom and they go into darkness. And some people appear to bloom on the outside while quietly inside they're withering. We never know the full story. You know, I once worked with a woman who'd spent the better part of her adult life raising 3 children. She'd put her career on pause. She'd moved cities multiple times for her husband's work, and she dedicated herself wholeheartedly to her family. Now, when I met her, she was on her 50s, and she had this kind of gnawing sense that she had somehow missed the boat. She told me that she looked at her college friends, and they were all vice presidents and consultants. Some of them were already retiring with big pensions and portfolios. And she said, here I am trying to figure out who I am again. But what she didn't see was the impact she'd had on the lives that she had nurtured. Her daughter had always admired and been inspired by my students' compassionate heart, and her daughter had become a social worker. Middle child was her son. He called her nearly every day because he was able to talk to her. He was able to trust her with his heart and with things that were going on for him. And her youngest had written an essay in school about how her mother was the most resilient person she knew. But none of that showed up on LinkedIn. None of it showed up on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. So what she'd been doing was measuring her worth by the wrong metrics. So what we did was her and I talked about what success actually meant to her, not what she'd been conditioned to believe it was. And what emerged was this beautiful vision of a woman stepping into a new chapter, not from lack, but from love, from knowing who she'd become. So when you feel that sting of comparison or that knot in your stomach or that sudden urgency to prove yourself, I want you to pause. I want you to take a breath. I want you to come back to yourself and ask yourself, what am I learning right now? What am I healing? What matters to me, not the algorithm, not to my mother, not to that old friend from high school, but to me. You might be in a quiet season of your life or a rebuilding season or a softening season. You might be in the cocoon. That's not failure. That's sacred work. You know, some people's paths wind and wander before they rise up. Some paths are teaching you how to trust or to surrender or to rest. These aren't detours, they are the path. So when the world's trying to convince you to speed up, to match the pace of other people or to catch up, remember your soul isn't in a hurry. You're not late, you're not behind, you're not less than. You are becoming in your own time, in your own way. I want you to honor that. I want you to trust that because your path, it's not just enough, it's perfectly you. I hope you will like and subscribe so we can get more people coming to this work, helping people to get happier. As always, be kind, take care, go gently in the world.